Back at it again.
What's going on, man?
Shit.
We're just telling a story at the end of the day.
You can enjoy a fully clothed, totally platonic cuddle session. Not sure what we're doing.
Are these lines safe? Yeah, we can literally say anything we want.
Talk mad shit.
Please continue to follow us. You can find us on all social medias.
All social medias.
All social medias.
All podcasts.
Everywhere that you could listen to a podcast, we're pretty much there. I'm Aces, bro.
I'm Aces. Shit.
I ain't Aces or nothing.
Dude, I think that's
what's good, y'all.
I think that's how we start every episode from now on. Shit.
Well, this episode has been running for 15 seconds, so technically that's how we started.
Yeah, I know. That's
okay.
I'm perfectly fine with it.
All right. Oh, I forgot to say action.
Rolling. There's nothing actually rolling.
There's nothing rolling. Yeah. Except your fucking eyes.
Yeah, right. Click.
What's good, you creeps?
What's up?
Oh.
What's going on, man?
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you I say it. Nothing, man. Nothing good.
Nothing good?
No. Everything good. Nothing good.
Trying to get your kid to sleep in a bed?
Yeah, in the new bed. Yeah, like fucking we're smart. We're like, oh, he's going to like it better because he won't be caged in like a crib. And we take it off and then he's like, yeah, now I can just fucking get up and walk around.
Yeah, man.
You're an idiot.
I'm going to the fridge and getting a sandwich.
I'm like, Jesus. Well, no. So, all right, let me tell you guys. So Shep fucking, if you listen to one of the previous episodes, I talked about how my dog slept in the bathtub. And so he goes up the dark stairs and, I had to give him a forewarning so he didn't punch my dog when all of a sudden he heard like something breathing in the shower.
Like, what the fuck is happening in this house of horrors?
Yeah, Chef he just says, well, hey, I got to go upstairs, use the bathroom. But if I walk up there, now that your kid can like roam free, is he going to be standing in the fucking like bathroom like the fucking Ring kid? Or what is that what you said?
Yeah,
the Ring kid?
The kid from the Ring.
The kid from the Ring. I was like, oh shit, I fucking hope so. just looking at you.
Just like, be like, I don't have to pee.
Kind of smiling.
He's like, I still
really.
have to pee, but I'm not doing it in the house.
Oh shit.
So yeah, that's
nah, man. Just honestly, for the first bazillion episodes that we did or whatever, 20 something, we always had something to kind of bitch about because it was holidays and whatever else. Yeah. Now every time you ask me, I'm like, actually, life is kind of good. Just trying to literally
to catch up.
Yeah, right. My only, I guess, or our only task now is trying to find some more time to record so we can, have some more fun down here.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at.
I mean, I think it is fun to get down here and record, obviously, but I just want more content.
Yeah,
I want us to have more content out there.
Well,
and I mean, I know that we already post, quite a bit.
Yeah.
We're dropping 2 episodes a week.
A B-side should be coming because we're hitting that 2,000. Actually, we would have already hit that by this point.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, but...
Thanks, guys, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. You want to give them their segue line? That sounds like a great segue. Time.
You're calling me out for saying segue?
Time for a segue.
Segue my fucking fist to your... Yeah, what's the segue? Fucking.
Well, the segue is thank you for all for continuing to listen and tune in.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell your family, tell your friends, tell the kiddos.
Don't tell the kiddos.
Yeah, don't tell the kiddos.
If they're over 18, you can tell them, I guess.
Yeah. We're on all the social media sites. We're on the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitters.
The Twatters, on Instagram and Facebook, it is Based on True Events Podcast. Mm-hmm. On Twitter, it is Podcast BOTE, Podcast BOTE. Mm-hmm. If you're not on the internet, if you're not on social medias, if you're on the internet, then you ain't gonna fucking listen to us. But
yeah, but if you don't do social media, you don't partake in the chaos of social media.
Email us.
Email us at Based on True Events Podcast, all one word, at gmail.com.
Boom. Yeah, hit us up because what Eric was just talking about, Shep was just mentioning, we need more content. Like we're good at coming up with shit and giving each other stuff, but we're having way more fun interacting and getting suggestions from you fucking guys because that throws us off,
our game, out of our comfort zone.
Yeah, which we love.
Well, yeah, this is why we do it is to have fun and tell a story.
Fuck yeah.
So we would like to tell the stories that you guys want to hear.
For sure. So, and if it's our favorite, we're going to pick it, and we're going to send you a T-shirt.
We'll send you that shirt
for free.
Swag.
Yeah, it'll say, I wrote for BOTE. It's actually really dope.
Yeah, and then your fucking field trip episode.
Yeah. Well, last time you said I had a hard-on for it. Which,
yeah, you do have a hard-on for this episode.
Almost. But, yeah, so you will find we are posting some stuff on Instagram and Facebook and everything. You guys are going to choose it. We are going to go there. So we've posted 4 locations, or we've given you 4 locations. You've got the Hannah House, Waverly Hills, the Whisper Estate, and the Punderson Manor. I think it's the Whistle Estate. I can't believe I'm fucking forgetting that. Anyway, there's 4. You can find it everywhere. Just fucking go to any of our Instagram or social media spots and you'll see it. But you guys choose the spot.
Okay,
and we fucking go and do an episode there. And I am 100% stoked about it. Yeah. Shep, not so much.
Yeah, no. So yes, it is the Hannah House, the Waverly Hills, the Whispers Estate, and the Punderson Manor.
Punderson Manor. So Waverly is it's way out ahead, which is fucking awesome. So keep them coming, guys. All the interaction is awesome, but we love it, especially if you will select or at least vote on where you want us to go. Yeah. For me, especially.
Keep sending us your suggestions to make Josh uncomfortable with subject matter.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can make me uncomfortable with subject matter too, but
it's harder to do.
It's harder
for Shep, for sure. But and honestly, it doesn't have to be deep and dark and disturbing and all that shit. It can be fucking funny. It could be fun, whatever. I mean, we say true-ish crime podcast. Yeah. We don't really fit into a genre. We dick around dark humor. We're not specifically a comedy podcast. We're not a true crime podcast. We don't know what the fuck we are. We're based on true events, and
we're a story podcast.
There it is, adult story time.
Adult story time.
There it is.
That almost sounds worse, man. Adult story time sounds like it's like ooh,
brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah, like start jamming the fucking porn music.
God damn it. Well, okay, we're a story time fucking podcast.
Story time fucking podcast.
There it is. And we're having fun as hell.
Yep.
We're having fun as hell. That's not even...
Yeah.
It's fun as hell.
It's fun as hell.
We're having fun.
As you can tell, unscripted.
Unscripted as fuck.
Unscripted podcast.
Yeah, wait, you're not reading?
No, I'm not fucking reading.
Well, I am going to start reading here in just a moment because in a moment... I need to fucking start reading so I can talk, apparently. Dude, I talk good.
Off the rails, man. Off to a good start.
Yeah. What's fucking new, man?
Yeah, dude. It's not our podcast if it ain't off the rails, bro.
That's right. So it is my fucking episode. It's my turn, and I'm excited about this one. It's a suggestion, right?
Yep, it is a suggestion.
I am excited about this one. I actually was kind of telling you a second ago that I was getting my serial killers fucking mixed up. So as I was researching this fucking guy, I found out some new shit, and I didn't realize the fucking level of disturbing that depravity that I'm about to go.
The
down.
more the merry. The more the merry.
More the merrier. All right, you were right, motherfucker. I said the more the merry, and it sounded so right in my head.
Yeah, I think I immediately sent you a screenshot like this. You're wrong.
It's the merrier.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, motherfucker. You knew what I meant.
I mean, I did.
Why you gotta be a dick?
Well, because that's what I do.
That is what you do. So, without further ado, I am doing Mr. Albert Fish. He's a heavy hitter. This is our first...
Iceman.
Iceman was a heavy hitter. Yeah, for sure. Okay, it's my first heavy hitter. And I believe this was a suggestion.
It was, yes, definitely a suggestion.
And I apologize. I don't know who suggested it. We will find out. I'm sure Shep can tell me, and we can give you guys a shout-out or give you a shout-out.
Yeah, Nick Goff.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Nick.
Yeah, so...
Actually, for real. That was genuine. That wasn't me being a prick. I actually...
No, it was...
This is a fucking pretty sick ass individual, and so for me to say this was a fun
research
dive is not really the right way to put it, but I enjoyed it because I learned some new shit, and it's pretty fucking heavy. So
learning is fun.
But I will definitely have to do something a little bit more fucking lighthearted after this one. This will one I'll have to try to get out of my head.
Okay. Yeah. I told you, man. I put my episodes to bed.
I know.
You like to hang out with yours.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Fucking have coffee with it in the morning.
Sometimes. There's a few of them, and this is one that I'll let it ride. So Hamilton Howard Albert Fish, born May 19th, 1870, he was born in Washington D.C. D.C. And like I said, get ready. I'm
going to sit back and enjoy the show.
This is a nasty motherfucker.
Cool.
He's fucked. He is an American serial killer. He is a child rapist, and he is a cannibal. Woo, the trifecta. Yeah. I fucking did not know. Yeah. Anyway, he also we've talked about this, man. Fucking these nicknames, dude. They the cool nicknames for the serial killers.
Right. Yeah.
This dude has a fucking onslaught of them. So Gray Man, I don't love that. Werewolf of Wisteria, Brooklyn Vampire, Moon Maniac, and the Boogeyman. Now, the Boogeyman, 100% I get. This motherfucker is the Boogeyman.
Baba Yaga.
The what?
Baba Yaga. It's
what
from John Wick, man. It's the Russian word for the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman?
Yeah.
Oh. Nerd alert.
Yeah, well.
Actually, John Wick's pretty cool. I don't like really not nerdy.
Pretty awesome movie. But, all right.
Yeah, but all right. So I didn't know that. Yeah. Anyway, so but nobody this fucked up deserves a cool nickname, and he's got 5 of them.
Okay, agreeably.
Yeah, Fish claimed to quote have children in every state, and he had what?
Nothing. You just the way that you described his career in serial killing, and he's got children at every state.
Right. Well, exactly. And so he had said, or he had claimed that he had about 100 victims. The thing is, no one knows if he was referring to murder, rapes, or cannibalization. So this guy is a fucking talker. He's one of those, just like that documentary we were talking about.
In love with his own reflection.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah. And so nobody really knows.
Okay.
But he's, I'm gonna read a few things here from serialkillershop.com. It's literally the serialkillershop.com.
Okay.
All there is to know about Albert Fish. This is the title of this, which is great. A monster is born. I love it. Actually, they did a good job covering pretty much fucking everything. So, you ready? Hold your fucking horses.
I'm here, man.
All right.
I'm not going anywhere.
All right. So Albert, like I said, Fish was born Hamilton Howard Albert Fish. His father, Randall, was 75 years old at the time. His mother, Ellen, was 43 years younger than her husband.
You fucking hope so. You're not dropping kids at 75 in the fucking 1800s, bro.
No shit. I assume homie had some money. That's fucking horrible to assume that, but...
No, dude, you don't get that old in the 1800s without some
That's true.
loot.
75, you're right. A good point. Albert was the youngest of 4 living children. He took on the name Albert after a deceased sibling, after he grew tired of other children calling him Ham and Eggs when he was a child. He's like, Ham and Eggs sucks. Just call me Albert.
Yeah, just call me Al. Call me Albert.
By the time Albert... I'm going to call him Ham and Eggs. By the time Ham and Eggs was 5... By the time Albert was 5, his elderly father had passed away. His mother was faced with difficult decision to put her children in an orphanage until she could find another way to support them on her own. Fish's time spent in St. John's orphanage helped to shape him into the monster he became later in life.
Meanwhile, that immediately discounts the idea that there was money.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
If she didn't have anything to support the kids, so there you go.
So
immediately discounting that.
Daddy fucking long dong, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, fuck, I guess,
He's packing heat. Fish was freak. God, I'm fucking immediately. I'm sorry I said that.
Yeah. Like, glad I wasn't behind that.
Yeah.
One. Glad I wasn't behind that term.
It's gonna start. I'm gonna edit that out. Fish was frequently subjected to physical abuse. Instead of turning from the pain, young Albert realized he enjoyed the pain inflicted upon him. When Albert was 10, his mother had secured a government job and was able to return for her children, removing them from the orphanage. It was too little, too late for Fish. The abuse had left its mark on the boy, both physically and mentally. At age 12, Albert Fish formed a relationship with a local telegraph boy. This young man introduced Fish to some disgusting practices such as urolagnia, which is, and I had to Google that one, a tendency to derive sexual pleasure from the sight or thought of urinating.
Okay.
Fucking gross. He was drinking pee-pee.
Or watching people.
Yeah.
Pee-pee. He enjoyed to watch some people.
Yeah, well, here it actually says, and drinking urine. So maybe both. I don't know. Either way, gross.
All right.
It gets grosser, and
I'm sure it does.
coprophagia. Anyway, it's the act of eating poop, feces. Fucking woof. I don't know what kind of kids like, hey, man.
I thought that was a fecal philiac, but all right, go ahead.
The act of eating feces. Well,
I don't know. I got that from South Park, but okay.
It's got to be right then. But the weird thing is like, hey, bud, what are you doing? I don't know. What do you like to do? You want to play some fucking games or something? I don't know. I like to eat and drink pee and poop.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the human sewer.
Yeah, gross.
Like, what do you got coming out at both ends?
Fish would spend his weekends visiting public bathhouses where he would spy on other young boys as they undressed. He frequently answered mail-order classified ads placed by women seeking marriage proposals with vulgar, obscene letters.
Okay, it's 2020. Can I please just interject here for one moment and say, can we do away with the public bathhouse?
Get rid of it.
Like, has anything good ever come from a public bathhouse?
No.
Every shitty story that has a public bathhouse in it is always terrible. It's always
terrible.
And it led to rape, or it led to
a peephole of some sort, or
like glory hole.
Glory hole, yeah. Oh god.
Like, can we just do? I'm done, but the bathhouse needs to go.
Yeah, can we sign a petition or something?
Yeah, I'll be the first signature.
Yeah, Fish's youthful pastimes, that's fucked, were clear evidence of his mental illness. However, during that time in history, there wasn't a lot of information available for classifying and identifying serial killers in the making, which is true.
Not surprising.
Yeah, by the time Fish was 20, he was living in New York City and was working as a prostitute.
As one would do if you spend time in bathhouses.
God. Bathhouses lead to a life of prostitution, folks. That's the takeaway.
And eating and poop.
Yeah. It was during this time in his life that he started raping young boys. As mothers tended to do during this time in history, Albert's mother arranged a marriage for him. Anyway, okay. I didn't know that was a fucking thing. In America, but
yeah, dude, it's actually a new invention. Picking your spouse. That's
what
actually
a concept.
Yeah, it's actually fairly recent evolution to the marital contract. Actually,
it was a fruitful marriage. Although 9 years younger than Fish, Anna Mary Hoffman gave him 6 children, which is fucking scary. In an attempt to live a normal, respectable life, Fish found work as a house painter. His employment did not stop his gross behavior, though. He continued to rape young boys. He once told the story of a male lover who took him to the wax museum. It was there that Fish became fascinated with penis bisection. Sexual mutilation became an obsession that drove Fish to desperate attempts to fulfill his sick fantasies.
What the fuck was going on in the wax museum,
dude?
That he's like, I want to see a dick split up.
I want to do some sexual mutilation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, sorry.
Also, maybe wax museum should be fucking taken out.
Bathhouse, wax museum. We got 1 and 2 on the list.
Jesus.
Right there.
Not to make light of what I just fucking screw
no,
up. This
I think I was purposefully
making light of
pushing out that image.
That's very fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like how at the beginning of this you said in an attempt to live a normal life, and then in a sentence and a half you go into he's still raping children though.
It literally says to live a normal, respectable life. Fish. Mm-hmm. He was a house painter though. I mean, he still raped boys, but he was a house painter.
Yeah, normal 9 to 5. I mean, there was still the kid raping
and the sexual mutilation now. Fucking wax museums and bathhouses. It was in Wilmington, Delaware in 1910 that Fish committed his first mutilation. Oh, geez. Albert met and formed a sadomasochistic, that's always hard for me to say, relationship. Not that I say it a lot. It's always hard for me to say.
It's like every morning you get up, you're like, sadomasochism.
Masochistic relationship with a young man named Thomas Kedden. Kedden was only 19 years old and impressionable. It has been suggested that Fish took advantage of the young man. You fucking think? Forcing him into the relationship. Fish eventually took the boy to an old farmhouse where he kept him and tortured him for 2 weeks. By the end of the 2 weeks of hell, Kedden found himself tied up with while Albert Fish cut off half of his penis. Fish later said of the young man, "I shall never forget his scream or the look he gave me." Oof. You like breathed in like you were going to say something. Let me get through this. Fish's plan to kill the boy, cut him up, and take his body back to his home was spoiled by the hot weather. Fish was afraid the meat would spoil, so instead he poured peroxide over the gruesome wound, slathered it in Vaseline, planned a rag over it, and handed Kedden a $10 bill, kissed him goodbye, and fled the scene. Fish claims he never knew what became of the boy after he took his leave of the gruesome scene. Whew. Sorry, I just wanted to get through that one.
Yeah.
It sounded like you were about to say something, but I wanted to finish.
I was going to make a smart-ass comment.
Yeah, I mean, it probably would have been okay because that was a fucking tough one to read.
Yeah, cut off half his dick, I guess, is the pessimistic side. Left him with half his dick is the optimistic side. Glass half full side.
Glass half full, dude.
Half full side.
Jesus
of that
Christ.
conversation.
Holy fuck, that's horrible. Okay. Well, okay. So, Fish apparently okay. In 1917, Anna Mary left Albert and their children for a slightly feeble-minded handyman by the name of John Straub.
Well, he ain't cutting dicks off, so.
He ain't cutting dicks off. Straub had once rented a room with the Fish family. Anna Mary and Straub fled the home with all of the furnishings while Fish was at work. When he came home, he found his wife gone, his home empty, and his children dependent solely on him. Jesus Lord.
Oh, she left the kids?
Left the fucking kids.
Oh,
dude.
Man.
Yeah, fuck her. But even, fuck her, but also...
I mean, yeah, she's just
now the kids are stuck with this monster.
No, that's the entire reason I'm saying fuck her.
Right, okay,
is
right.
How do you leave the kids? Like, kill him. Like, kill him.
Kill him.
It's 1917. They don't have forensic science. Like,
you can figure it out.
You can figure it out.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree. Anyway, when he, let's see, not much long after she fled the home, Miss Fish and her lover returned to her family's home, begging for a place to stay. Albert said Anna Mary could stay, but her lover had to leave. It didn't take Fish long to discover Straub hiding out in the attic. Anna Mary had been sneaking food up to him, as well as sneaking up to spend time with him. Once discovered, Fish told his estranged wife she could stay, but her lover had to leave. Both Miss Fish and Straub fled. The Fish children never saw their mother place a foot in the family home again. So what's weird about that to me is this motherfucker is a monster who is okay with, raping young boys and mutilation, but you're not going to kill your wife or her.
He's very tolerant of adulterers.
Yeah, apparently. Or he just didn't give a shit because it was a forced marriage, and I don't know. Maybe,
yeah, I mean,
it's just weird that
maybe that's
somebody
the answer.
That disturbing and that fucked up wouldn't.
It does seem like he just doesn't give a fuck.
Maybe, and that could be. I've got better things to fucking.
He's like, I'm busy killing kids.
Busy killing.
Like,
yeah,
I got some dick mutilation going on in my afternoon. I don't have time. Can you take your sleazebag, feeble-minded boyfriend and get the fuck out of my house?
Those poor kids, for real, though. I mean,
dude,
Jesus Lord.
Dude.
Oh, God. After the drama created by his wife had ended, Albert began to act strangely. Now the motherfucker's acting strangely.
Now he's acting. He's getting a little.
I thought the same thing. It is said this was when he began to suffer auditory hallucinations. He also began to experiment with self-harm. Fish would push needles into his groin. He enjoyed hitting himself with a nail-studded wooden paddle. It was reported that he would frequently insert a lighter fluid-soaked wooden dowel into his anus and set it upon fire for fun. He went as far as to encourage his children and their friends to hit him with his nail-studded paddle. Jesus God. Hey, man.
You guys want to come over and hit my dad with a paddle?
Bring that one boy back. He's got a fucking good arm.
We're going to go work ham and eggs over with a paddle.
Ham and eggs. Getting worked over. Oh, my God. It's fucked. I know. And by the way, the lighter fluid-soaked wooden dowel in his for fun. All right.
I mean, dude, this dude's level of fun.
He's fucked.
Is it really surprising?
No, it's not.
Just because he's considering it fun doesn't mean, whatever.
Well, he's taking a turn for the worse here. Right. Throughout the dark period following the departure of his wife and before committing his first murder, Fish was evaluated by psychiatric hospitals numerous times. Each time he was declared sane and released into society. Fuck those hospitals. You missed a big one there, guys.
Maybe, if they don't have anything to tie to him, if he's just a good liar, I don't know, maybe that's what it is.
Well, he hadn't killed anybody yet.
But
he's still doing horrible shit.
But hadn't he?
Well, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Dick mutilation on the 19-year-old, and we don't really know what happened to that cat.
Yeah. That's true. Well, that washcloth could have fucking, saved his life. In the Vaseline.
It's the Vaseline.
Because that kid could have easily bled out and fucking died somewhere. You're right.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyway, that's horrible. Throughout the dark period. No, sorry. I'm not going to read that again. Each time he was declared sane and released back into society. It was also during this time when Fish began to amass his collection of torture devices, a meat cleaver, a small handsaw, and a butcher knife.
It's the simple things in life.
It is. This is horrible. Around 19... it's all horrible, but this is... Around 1919, Albert Fish began stabbing young men who were either mentally handicapped or African American, as he felt these people wouldn't be missed.
Just stabbing them,
killing them.
Okay,
I guess.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was just there's one walking down the street. I'm gonna stick him with. I'm gonna get him with my sticker.
He basically was targeting handicapped and African Americans.
I'm gonna get him with my sticker.
Yeah, it's fucked. Fish was fond of paying children to help him catch other children so he could torture and murder them. None of these murders were verified with actual proof, though. Albert Fish made a lot of claims after his eventual arrest. Although there was no proof, Albert Fish victims numbered in the hundreds, according to him. So the interesting thing when I was reading this, him being a heavy hitter, I figured the body count would there would be a lot more than there actually is. This guy's. Once he gets arrested, he's just talking out his ass. You never fucking know. He's a sick. He's sick.
He's a sick. He's a sick.
He's a sick.
He frequents bathhouses.
He's a sick.
He's a sick. He goes to Wax Museum.
I don't like.
He enjoys the bathhouse.
I'm gonna go to no fucking Borat.
Yeah, you started.
Yeah, fair enough.
You started.
By 1924, Albert Fish was suffering from full-on psychosis. He truly believed God was commanding him to torture and murder children, although he had been evaluated by professionals numerous times. In July of the same year, Fish spotted young Beatrice Kale, Kiel, I'm probably saying that wrong, playing alone on her family's farm. Her mother noticed Fish lurking about and chased him off, saving the life of the 8-year-old. Later that night, Fish returned to the farm and slept in the barn. He was discovered and promptly chased off by Hans Kale, young Beatrice's father. If only he would have known. All these times, all these hospitals, if only they would have fucking known. They could have stopped him. Albert Fish's next attempt was targeted at Cyril Quinn. You think Cyril? Cyril?
Yeah, Cyril's definitely a name.
Yeah. A young boy he had been molesting. Hold on.
Been molesting.
Jesus, hold on. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Albert Fish's next attempt was targeted at Cyril Quinn, a young boy he had been molesting. Fish offered the boys lunch in order to lure him into his home. While waiting for sandwiches, the boys rested on Fish's bed. Ugh. The mattress overturned, revealing Fish's, quote, implements of hell, the knife, handsaw, and cleaver. The boys fled the home in fear for their lives. Once again, Fish's mission to kill and consume a child had failed. This caused Fish to up his game a little.
I'm really glad that he's very, very shitty at what he does.
Right.
Like, I'm glad all these kids are getting away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry that they've been molested. Obviously horrible.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're getting away with their lives.
Yeah, and again, I got to give serialkillershop.com the credit for all these little fucking one-liners of shit. I'm letting them do the research for me on this one. All right, so
I didn't think you were boots on the ground in 1920.
Yeah, right. Well, fuck, you know what I meant. In 1928, Albert Fish answered an ad seeking work for an 18-year-old Edward Budd. The Budd family struggled financially. Therefore, Edward was hoping to find employment to take some of the burdens off his father. Albert Fish answered the ad by showing up at the Budd's family home.
You don't look 18, son.
You don't look 18. He portrayed himself as an average, not at all psychopathic, sweet old man looking for help around his home. The Budd family never suspected they were dealing with a deranged murderer. Albert Fish introduced himself to the Budd family as Frank Howard, a Long Island farmer that was willing to pay $15 a week for Edward Budd's help around his home.
Meanwhile, he paid $10 to the kid he cut his dick off.
No shit.
$10, man.
Yeah, well, he told him that he was going to pay him $15 an hour per week.
I'm
but
just saying.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
that's fucked up. It's backwards, dude. So if he had paid the kid $15, you'd have been all right with it.
No, but
fair is fair.
No, but I'm just fair is fair. No, I'm just saying, like, that's fucked up.
It is.
Like, I only got a 10 on me, man.
Sorry, kid.
Good luck. Good luck with your missing dick.
God, dude, that's so fucked up. All right, they bought Fish's story, hook, line, and sinker. Meanwhile, Fish planned to tie Edward up, mutilate him, and leave him to bleed to death before consuming him.
Hook, line, and sinker, and his name is Fish.
Yeah, I know. Fish made arrangements with the Budd family to return a week later for Edward. When Fish returned to the Budd home as planned, he met little Grace. Albert became so captivated with Grace Budd that he changed his plans. Instead of Edward, his intended victim became the young girl. Albert's new plans included a story about a niece's birthday party that he wanted to take Grace to. Because the Budd's parents were so enamored with the old man, they agreed.
What is so fucking amazing about this old dude?
You don't give your fucking kid to a stranger.
Yeah, dude, this is kind of back to the Charlie Chop-Off episode. Like, keep your kids close, man. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing as parents? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I know okay, so it's different then than it was now, but
he's just a
sweet little old man.
Sweet old man.
Fuck that, he's a stranger.
Yeah.
But okay. The Grace Budd left with Albert Fish and never returned to her family. Albert Fish was not initially a suspect in the disappearance of Grace Budd. Police wrongly arrested Superintendent Charles Edward Pope. He spent 108 days in jail before he was found not guilty of the crimes against little Grace. An anonymous letter received by Grace's parents became the key to solving the disappearance of Grace.
Why is he not suspect number one?
Dude, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard.
I'm going to take your daughter to a birthday party,
and you never see her. The last person she was with
is not suspect number one?
Don't ask me. I thought that was the stupidest shit that I read. Anyway,
it's got to be the superintendent from the school. Meanwhile, that dude must have been creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
If he becomes,
and I didn't do any digging, but I mean, maybe he had a past. I don't know. This next part is hard to stomach. This is the Albert Fish letter. In November of 1934, a letter arrived at the Budd home.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Budd was unable to read the letter herself, so her son Edward read the chilling words to his mother. God. Yeah, okay. So here are a few excerpts from the letter written by Fish himself that eventually led to the arrest of Albert Fish. This is in quotations because this is legitimately what he said. On Saturday, June the 3rd, 1928, I called on you at 406 West 15th Street. Brought you pot cheese, strawberries. Pot cheese. I don't know what that is, but sweet. We had lunch. Grace sat in my lap and kissed me. I made up my mind to eat her on the pretense of taking her to a party. You said yes, she could go. I went upstairs and stripped all my clothes off. I knew if I did not, I would get her blood on them. Mm-hmm. When all was ready, I went to the window and called her. Then I hid in the closet until she was in the room. When she saw me all naked, she began to cry and tried to run downstairs. I grabbed her, and she said she would tell her mama. First, I stripped her naked. How did she kick, bite, and scratch? I choked her to death and then cut her into small pieces so I could take my meat into my room, cook it, and eat it. How sweet and tender her little ass was roasted in the oven. It took me 9 days to eat her entire body. I did not fuck her, though, although I could, had I wished. Grace Bud's family were forced to hear these words from the hand of the man who tortured and murdered their little Grace. Part of Albert Fish's letter was verified by the police. Other parts of the letter were not. So there's no I'm not sure really what that means.
It means they're not sure if he was just telling stories outside of school, or if they're like this was they couldn't verify.
They couldn't verify, right? Facts other parts were left out. Facts surrounded the murder of Grace were accurate. Although claims that Fish ate pieces of Grace were never confirmed. If you haven't seen a photo of Albert Fish, which I can't imagine many of you haven't, but he is a frightening individual. Really beady fucking eyes, big old thick handlebar mustache type thing.
Frightening in the fact that.
And maybe
he's not overpowering looking, like he's not like an imposing. He's just creepy.
He's not threatening. And here's the thing: if I didn't know what he ddid, if I looked at the photo, would it be as creepy? I don't know. But because, especially after what I just read, and I probably should have given a little forewarning on that. It was pretty fucked. But yeah. But this is the story. So Fish overlooked important evidence on the envelope that he used to send his gruesome letter to the Budd family. Idiot. There was a small hexagon-shaped emblem in the corner that read NYPCBA. Those letters stood for the New York Private Chauffeurs Benevolent Association. After some questioning by the police, it was discovered an employee took some envelopes home to his boarding house room. He left them behind when he moved out. Police were able to track down Albert Fish, the next tenant to occupy the room. When Fish returned to his room, police were waiting. Fish pulled a switchblade on the police after his arrest to no avail. Fish never denied murdering Grace Budd. He did deny raping her, although he admitted to having several strong orgasms while strangling the young girl.
Okay, wait. Let me pause here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. He recapped
Yeah.
how he got her.
Yeah.
Like, he told the fucking story about being at their house. How is there any other suspect? Why are you doing this legwork on the envelope as the police department? Hey, who came to your house and ate pot cheese?
Yeah,
and strawberries?
Good fucking point.
Well, it was this creepy old dude.
The motherfucker literally just admitted it.
It was this old dude that came and took the last person we saw our daughter with was this old guy who brought us pot cheese and strawberries, and our daughter sat on his lap, just like was mentioned in this letter. We don't know. We don't know if that has anything to do with it. I mean, he was the last person we saw her with. He said he was going to take her to a party, and then she never came home. It's real weird.
Yeah, dude, it's frustrating because either really just shitty police work, or they're not or the research isn't laid out in the story in the right order. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. Who needs the fucking proof when you? What more detective work do you need to do? He just fucking admitted
you the fucking story.
He literally just told you. Yeah. Now I don't know when they found the envelope.
Hey, by the way, guys, my name's Albert Fish, and I took your daughter. I was at your house. You guys said it was okay if I took your daughter.
Don't tell the people. Don't tell the cops.
But meanwhile, my name's Albert Fish. Did I mention that my name was Albert Fish and that we ate pot cheese?
And here's my address.
Well,
so here's what I took from it is that, okay, yeah, they know who the fuck did it, but they don't know where he is. So that the envelope was the location that actually helped them catch him. But I know, whatever. Mm-hmm. Dude,
you're telling me that they're super competent.
Well, after all
at
that
tracking down these envelopes, but
they can't figure out.
But they could. But suspect number one was the superintendent of the school.
So the funny thing, and here's the difference between me and you, I didn't hear anything else. Like I skipped half of the pages on the fucking, that I just read because all that I could think about was that fucking letter. And just that's all that was in my head because of how horrible it was. You're like fucking doing police work. I'm like, dude, that was so fucked up. You're right. They fucked that up. They should have caught him a lot. Yeah.
Like, let's all right.
He should have never left.
First off, let's get a DNA swab of the envelope, and we're gonna backtrack it against dental records. Dude, it's got his name on it.
Hey,
like, what the fuck are we doing?
He admitted it.
He is telling you what the fuck he did.
All right. Other Albert Fish victims, because there were other. After being arrested for the murder of Grace Budd, Albert Fish admitted to a few other killings. Francis McDonald was only 9 years old when he encountered the sick Albert Fish. The young resident of Staten Island never returned home after a day spent playing catch with friends. After a brief search, the boy's body was found hanging from a tree. He had been strangled with his suspenders after suffering sexual assault. Fish later admitted to attempting to castrate the boy, but took off when he heard people approaching the gruesome scene. This crime earned Fish the moniker the Gray Man, after McDonald's friends reported seeing a man with a thick gray mustache and shaggy gray hair. He was reported as looking faded and gray. The murder of Francis McDonald remained unsolved until Fish confessed after being arrested for the murder of Grace Budd. Mm-hmm. Fish also, this motherfucker confesses to a lot of shit. Fish also confessed to the murder of a 4-year-old, Billy Gaffney. After being arrested for the murder of Grace Budd, he confessed via a letter to his lawyer. Here are some especially horrendous excerpts from the letter written by Fish himself. Sorry, I heard you fucking like going, why are you doing this? And this is 100% defense laughter.
It's the story.
It is, no. And that was 100% defense laughter. So, all right, this is tough. I took tools, a good heavy cat of 9 tails, homemade, short handle, cut one of the belts in half, slit these half in six strips about 8-inch long. I whipped his bare behind till the blood ran from his legs. I cut off his ears, nose, slit his mouth from ear to ear, gouged out his eyes. He was dead then. I stuck the knife in his belly and held my mouth to his body and drank his blood. His monkey and peewees and a nice little fat behind to roast in the oven and eat. I made a stew out of his ears, nose, pieces of his face and belly. I put onions, carrots, turnips, celery, salt, and pepper. It was good. Then I split the cheeks of his behind open, cut off his monkey and peewees, and washed them first. I put strips of bacon on each cheek of his behind and put it in the oven. Then I picked 4 onions, and when meat had roasted about a quarter of an hour, I poured about a pint of water over it for gravy and put in the onions. At frequent intervals, I basted his behind with a wooden spoon so the meat would be nice and juicy. In about 2 hours, it was nice and brown, cooked through. I never ate any roast turkey that tasted half as good as his sweet, fat little behind did. I ate every bit of the meat in about 4 days. His little monkey was as sweet as a nut, but his peewees I could not chew, threw them in the toilet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is no wonder Fish was dubbed the most vicious child slayer in criminal history. Dude, that whole fucking letter, man, it's just like he was, trying to be as
gory
sinister
as possible.
Yeah, like it's almost so much the way he's calling it his monkey and his sweet, it's almost like hopefully it's unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's
like he's trying to fucking really show it up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling myself anyway.
Yeah,
like that none of that actually happened, and
yeah.
he's full of it. Yeah, that was tough to read, though. I'll be honest with you. I'm sure it was tough to hear as well.
Yeah, it was not pleasant.
Yeah. The trial for the murder of Grace Budd lasted 11 days. Fish was found guilty and eventually put to death via electrocution. Finally, we get somebody.
Yeah, we get a fucking execution.
Yeah. It was reported that Fish helped the executioner place the electrodes on his body. That's fucking crazy. There were rumors stating the needles Fish had inserted into his own body
I was about to say this. I've heard this.
I'd heard this too. Inserted into his body caused the electric chair to short circuit, thus requiring twice the normal jolts of electricity to finish the job. These claims have since been...
let him go slow, man.
Yeah, I wish, but these claims have since been refuted. Damn it. After Fish was put to death, his lawyer stated he had final words from Fish, amounting to nothing more than handwritten notes. The lawyer refused to read them, stating, "I will never show it to anyone. It was the most filthy string of obscenities I have ever read." Fish was a vile human being right up to the very end of his life. Yeah. And again, that whole thing, he's just trying to be as dirty and nasty as,
he's trying to be public enemy number one.
Fuck yeah. I mean, he knows what his, he knows what's happening. He knows he's dead. So why not scare some fucking people on the way out?
Yep.
Of course, like all serial killers, movies have been made, documentaries. I was actually getting him and a couple other guys mixed up, one in particular. But after I finished reading this, some of it started coming back. I had never read the Fish letter.
Yeah.
And
I don't need to ever.
I don't need to ever revisit that. That's what I'm talking about when I kind of prefaced it saying, after this one, I'm going to have to do something a little bit more lighthearted. Real Men in Black, here I come. In addition to The Gray Man, there's a 2007 documentary entitled Albert Fish and Sin He Found Salvation. Albert Fish's documentary offers a more in-depth look. I don't know who else wants to fucking dig deeper than that.
I don't know that you need to go any deeper.
I'm going to end this fun little story with a couple of Albert Fish quotes.
Like we need more than the 2 letters that you read?
I know. As we have seen... Hey, man. Going out with a bang. As we have seen before, all serial killers leave behind chilling quotes regarding their crimes. Albert Fish was no different in this way. Here are some especially chilling words from Fish himself. What a thrill that will be if I have to die in the electric chair. It will be the supreme thrill, the only one I haven't tried. He's full of shit. I always had a desire to inflict pain on others and to have others inflict pain on me. I always seemed to enjoy anything that hurt. Everything that hurt. Oh, God. I like children. They are tasty. Misery leads to crime. I saw so many boys whipped, it ruined my mind. I'll read this little. They have a conclusion here. Albert Fish will always remain one of America's worst child killers. Few serial killers have achieved the brutality he is famous for, especially against children. Whether Albert Fish's time in the orphanage turned him into a serial killer or not remains to be seen. With someone as horrible as Fish, one has to wonder if he was born a serial killer or did this circumstances turn him evil. Like most serial killers, it seems to be a little of both nurture and nature. Yeah. While he claims to have killed hundreds of children, 1 in every state, he was only ever found to have killed 3. Those 3 killings were so gruesome they cemented Fish's place in history as the worst killer of children in all of American history. And I'll be honest with you, that there's a lot of claims when we do some of these topics. Most haunted place ever, worst whatever. Like I don't, after reading, even if those letters are even a little bit, like if there's a smidgen of it that's truth, I'll give him that title. This is probably the worst child killer that I've ever read about
so far.
Yeah, I know. God. Suggestions and comments, please.
But no, so
that is Mr. Albert Fish, and there's a reason that motherfucker is known.
Yeah,
because that's some horrific, horrible, nasty
but as
shit.
Known as he is, I still I feel like he has kind of gotten, like, people that do like podcasts and who kind of do this kind of stuff, like they throw Albert Fish around, and they like, he is in those circles and people who know that his stuff, know his history. I feel like with the level of his crimes, like even if he, like, if it's all like a lot of this shit was in his head and like he was delusional,
right?
Let's say that the most that he did was kill those 3 kids and cut the one kid's dick off, and do those, this and that. It's still heinous and horrendous. Yeah, his crimes. Now, that being said, the fact that we have lost that horror to time means that we have people who get into legislation that we shouldn't do capital punishment. Right. And this motherfucker, how many days did you say that it took to...
11. You mean the trial?
Yeah.
11.
11 days. The fact that this motherfucker lived for 11 days in the open court is shocking to me.
Eating, probably maybe bathing. I don't know the prison system, but he was alive for 11 days after being caught and admitted to do this.
The fact that he wasn't killed in open court is amazing to me.
Immediately, yeah.
And I know it's like, oh, we're a civilized society. And
fuck all that.
No, dude, like, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, it's done. Like, I'm surprised the families didn't kill this dude. Like, oh
yeah,
God.
man, this was a tough one. And, the whole thing that I kept thinking about, which is fucking horribly sad, but the parents who let this fucking girl go with this strange old man, just that's got to be fucking, I mean, I'm going to only stay alive for one thing, and that's revenge.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And then after that, I don't know.
And then after he's dead, like...
I don't know if I could
then
keep going. Although they do have another child, so, I mean, I get stay alive for him, but... revenge is on the fucking table.
Dude, I'd fucking make it my life's mission. Every breath I take would be to just torture that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then after he does die, then maybe I kill myself to go to hell to see if I can fuck him up some more.
Yeah. And so the thing that I found, it's obvious that the level of evil that this dude is because of his crimes. But what I found most just heinous is the fact that his whole attitude and the gruesome letters and the show of it all, and then he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking electrocute myself because I'm not remorseful, I'm a badass, nobody's scared, his whole fucking, like, he's just like, the dude never got punished, like, you know what I mean, like
there was no punishment for him.
Yeah, like, I hate that,
well, because he wanted, like, he craved that
the pain
and depravity,
and he was sick on a level that
and
I haven't at least read about yet.
And don't fucking tell me, all right, like, don't fucking tell me that because he saw these things and these things happened to him as a kid, like
nature,
like that's horrible. Like, dude, that's horrible that he had to suffer through that. But there are other kids that suffered through that shit,
and they're all right,
and they didn't go around raping and killing children.
Yeah, damn right.
And fucking eating them, like, whatever. So one of the things that I know a little bit, like, so this guy, like, he claimed between 9 and 100 murder, whatever, victims.
He claimed to have killed.
Right. Between 9 and 100.
9 and 100. That's a big ass fucking.
Yeah, that's a big leap. And he, he was saying that he was hearing God tell him to.
He changed his stories a bunch too.
Yeah. So, I will lean very heavily on the idea that it's unfortunate that these three young souls were face to face with an incarnate of the devil.
Straight up.
And whoever else crossed this motherfucker's path.
Yeah.
But I'm really leaning on the fact that this dude's, like, fucking just telling stories, just trying to,
I am too, because of the letters and the whole, the monkey thing is what really set me off. I was like, this dude is just, he's trying to be more graphic and more, disgusting. Mm-hmm. He's literally going for that, and so, and you could almost, as you're reading it, like, fucking picture him smiling, it definitely sent some fucking chills down my spine. But I agree. I think he was full of shit. I think, unfortunately, there were the three, but I do think those are the only three that he killed. I don't think, I just think he's full of shit.
Yeah. Now, I will say that
he would have liked to kill more. I believe that 100%. But
oh yeah, for sure.
But
but there's also the flip side of it is there's a lot of people in the wake of this dude that whatever semblance of life that they have to eke out. He's got 9 kids.
Oh, dude.
Or had 9 kids.
Yeah. Fuck, I didn't even think about that. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot about the victims and victims' families, but his family, like, I mean, God,
that's my dad. Jesus Christ.
Well, and the fact that they like, God knows the amount of torture that those fucking kids had to deal with.
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
Like, in the mom who's just like, I'm out. Like, fuck you, like, leaves the kids.
Yeah, fuck you, Mom, by the way. I'm glad that he never claimed, and obviously that he never did anything to his own children, who were literally living with the devil.
Yeah.
But still, Oof. Well, there's a lot of shit that is just, if you really go and think about it, it's just fucking scary. The people that are surrounding this motherfucker, like that they didn't have any idea, or shit. He should have been stopped a long time ago.
The fact that
the hospital's fucked up.
The hospital's fucked up. Like the police thing, like tracking down the envelope. Like what the fuck? Like
yeah, I assumed that just was for the location, but who knows, man? They're idiots. Like I said, I couldn't get past the letter, so I didn't even think about the detective work at all.
Yeah.
I was like, leave it to you to fucking think about. I missed the fucking details there.
Yeah, I mean, which rightfully so, but I think actually that's the point.
Yeah,
I think that's the point of this dude is he's throwing up this huge firework barrage to get you to stop paying attention. It's like a magician. Like, look at my left hand, look at my left hand, look at my left hand. So you never pay attention what's going on is right.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of like what this dude's doing. I mean, I would love to say that he took credit for 2 murders that he didn't commit.
Yeah, for sure.
That maybe that he killed Grace and he just took credit for these other 2 murders and made it sound horrific and heinous. But they never substantiated either of those murders. He just said he did them. I mean, they never found.
Well, they found the boy. I mean, they found, nobody knows for sure if he did it, but.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, well, we found this boy. Yeah, I killed him too. I ate him.
Yeah, it's weird how there's prisoners who do that like often. Yeah. They start claiming like victims that they read about in a fucking newspaper. But I don't know. I feel like he did do the 3. I think there.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying he didn't.
You're right. I hope that. I hope that their deaths weren't anything like
as
horrific.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was somewhat quick and painless, if at all possible. I don't know, but it's hard to say. I hope anything.
Yeah.
I have no more hope. All hope is lost.
All hope is lost.
That one wore me out, dude. I was like, oh god, reading this is.
Yeah. See, okay, so now this one hits me way harder. Way flatter than the Ripper Crew.
Yeah,
wow. And not to judge or to put.
No. We're all
but
different.
I mean, you think Albert Fish. I mean, he did this shit by himself. The Ripper Crew. There was 4 dudes. And these are just like these are innocent children. Like, I mean, not that the women did anything to justify the damage that was caused upon them.
Of course not.
But crimes against children just always fuck with me, man.
They hit hard.
They hit way harder than is the senseless death and destruction that we cause upon other adults.
Yeah, right.
That circle the planet, like it's always going to hit me harder.
I agree. Ripper Crew, the amount of details that were factual is still
that they were like, oh no, we found it.
Yeah,
like
the woman survived. Yeah, she's like, yeah, that happened to me. Like, but this one, I hope he was just blowing smoke. But I hate the fact that he was having fun. It seemed like, and I hated that. But hey, at the end of the day, the motherfucker's dead. And at least that's better than some of the other ones we've done.
If only he could have died some more.
No shit. Yeah, if he had actually dead, they brought him back.
Yeah. Wake his ass up.
Yeah, all those this kind of sick fuck, he probably would have been like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm in heaven. This is painful, and I get to relive it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, how do you punish somebody who enjoys punishment?
Back rubs and blowjobs, baby.
Yeah, switch it up on them.
Switch it up, man. It's
this is torture.
This is the worst. I hate it.
So many blowjobs.
Like, here's a fillet.
Yeah. Or cook everything well done.
Yeah, cook everything. No, I mean, this is my kids, dude. Like, I think you give him vegetables.
Well,
you force him to eat like raw vegetables.
Yeah, only vegetables.
Only vegetables. Yeah. Like you get. I mean, that would be what you basically maybe just rob him of like protein and watch his body deteriorate.
Watch him deteriorate. Yeah.
From lack.
I read something on another site somewhere that he was trying to quench his thirst for his blood lust or whatever, and so he would literally bring he would provide for dinner for all his kids like just raw meat. And I'm like, Jesus, dude. Yeah. That's why I said the do it well done, but I forgot that went in that story. But I did read it in my head. It was there. Well, all right. So fuck, dude. I don't know if I want to talk too much more about Mr. Fish. I think it's a pretty closed case. It's a disgusting. It's a disturbing one.
Is this a creepypasta story?
Yeah, I fucking wish, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, psych.
yeah. Meanwhile, if this was a creepypasta story, like somebody needs to go to that dude's
Somebody
house.
needs to go to the no shit.
Like you need to go check this dude out. Like,
call the cops on that motherfucker. His imagination is too dark.
I don't really feel like dragging this one out.
All right, cool. Well, we've dragged it out for 58 minutes, so it's plenty long to talk about this douchebag.
Yeah.
And I don't, I don't know. And I won't call anybody out. Some people who do, whether it's videos or podcasts or stories or movies or whatever, they showcase these killers and they make it kind of, they Hollywood it up, you know what I mean? This dude doesn't
glorifying
deserve
it.
Glorify. Yet this dude does not deserve that.
I agree.
At all.
I 100% agree.
I will not be opening the book back on fucking Mr. Albert Fish. Case closed.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go ahead and just fucking say it. I'm gonna do the Real Men in Black next week because I need something a little bit more fun, and it'll be fun to talk about aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you good on that?
I had I think I said this to you earlier that I had definitely had ulterior motives when it came to the Toynbee tiles.
The Toynbee tiles, yeah.
Where I wanted that story to go, why I wanted you to do the story, why I wanted to talk about that.
Kubrick.
Yeah, the Kubrick
that was
angle. But I have no
Ulterior motive. Yeah.
I have no other motive other than I want to talk about the Men in Black aliens.
Cool. Well, I'm fucking excited about
Government cover-up men.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be excited about it before, but I read a little something and my interest was piqued. Look at that. I fucking nailed it.
Boom!
That's the first time I've said that right. But after this one, I'm fucking looking forward to it. So
Need a breather?
I need a breather.
All right.
All right, man. Good shit.
All right, later.